Hello and welcome to the Books Crypto Club weekly catch-up on Zoom. It is Sunday, the 10th of April, 2022, and today we're going to be talking about whatever people want to talk about, really, that is crypto related. So we may be talking about cryptocurrencies, crypto tokens, crypto assets, maybe talking about blockchains, distributed ledger technology, or some of the things that have spun out from that. So DeFi, NFTs, ICOs, STOs, TGs, all sorts of these funny, weird letters, really. We end up talking about whatever people are interested in. So if we've got somebody who's a novice who's just learning and is trying to navigate the tricky waters of crypto and understanding all these terms and phrases and what they mean, or just want some guidance, then we can cover that. Equally, you get people who join us who've got years and years of experience in the space and can share their knowledge about projects that are working on or things that they're finding of interest. So don't forget, if you enjoy this, do click on the subscribe, click the like, make comments in the YouTube channel, or even better, come along to a future session. We hold these every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK British summertime, open to everyone. The link is in the YouTube channel. That allows you to join the group, and you can just come in whenever. Anyway, let's see who's going to come and join us and see what the discussion is going to be about today. Elena, good to see you again.
Hello, good to see you. Yeah, I also had some problems. It was the host is in another meeting. So
Okay. Well,
I'm glad I'm in now.
We're here now. That's good. And Ben, hello. Thanks for coming and joining us.
No worries. So we're in a common WhatsApp group, I think.
Okay.
House of Block. I
was going to say which one is. I run or I'm in so many WhatsApp groups.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I quite often get people who come up to me and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm in your WhatsApp group." It's like, you're gonna have to narrow it down a little bit.
Yeah, I've only just joined this WhatsApp group, but I really like it.
Yep.
And I hope you don't mind, but I also invited Tamara, who's on the call as well. I've worked with Tamara a couple of times at some events. She does crypto events and has done a lot of work with universities, and yeah, we chat occasionally. So I shared the link. Hope you don't mind.
Fantastic. Yeah, please do. The more the merrier with this kind of thing. It's one of the reasons I love the crypto and the blockchain space is it is a big community, you know, and it's very supportive and nurturing and encouraging. So the more people we bring in, the better, to be honest. The more we convert to the cause, the better for everybody. So I see tomorrow's trying to connect at the moment. It says trying to connect the audio, I think. So we'll see how that goes. So what's your interest, Ben? Are you a novice, an expert, whatever?
I feel bad calling myself an expert. I don't know. No, I've been involved in crypto since like 2013, and I'm a digital product designer. I'm like a UX designer and researcher. And yeah, I've got a startup called The Cake, which is we try to be, or we aim to be, the only or the best trusted and verified chat service in crypto.
Okay.
To combat a lot of the kind of scammy Telegram groups and WhatsApp groups and Discord groups and stuff.
So how do you like raise the bar then to make sure it's not falling for scammy type things?
Well, the only people that you can chat to on The Cake are people that we've like vetted basically heavily. Yeah. So people that we know, people in our network, people that we've gone out and specifically targeted and canvassed because we like them, and we put them through a kind of semi-rigorous kind of process to ensure that, well, as the best we can, that they're legit, they've got a good network, that their profiles stack up, they're verified, and then yeah, if they're awesome enough, they end up on The Cake.
Oh, that's good, because one of the things I found right from the beginning is first of all, as you say, you do get like scammy type things and this kind of thing. That's just the nature of it. But also you get people join the communities in order to learn from others, but they don't know the credibility of the others that they're learning from.
Exactly.
And I've seen it before now where I've been in meetings where the assumption is whoever speaks loudest knows what they're talking about.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. all it actually means is that they can talk loudly. It doesn't mean they know what they're talking about.
Yeah. This is a more kind of like subtle professional peer review system where advisors that have been in The Cake for a while get sort of, they go from advisors to experts and then governors. And we've got a DAO on testnet, and we're sort of playing with it slowly and cautiously to try and allow, you know, just another level of sort of trust and credibility that doesn't really exist in crypto space. So it's supposed to be kind of like Trustpilot crossed with LinkedIn Pro times by Discord, but with obviously much better UX.
And all on blockchain as well. Excellent. Well, it looks like Tamara's managed to join us now.
Oh, I don't see her on my
hang on.
view, but
No,
yeah, that's cool.
she's gone back into the waiting room. I'll let her on. I'll see where that goes. Okay, that sounds really interesting. How long have you been developing that?
Yeah, we've built the MVP, so we've got our own sort of custom code, which is a web app. It's the cake.chat, and it works. It's pretty robust. It's kind of like built on pretty old technology, but we got it going. We've got like 68 advisors, and you can contact them now. A lot of them spend more time logged in these days, which is really cool. And a lot of them are getting traction and deal flow as well.
That's good.
So, yeah, we've got, I mean, we've only got like 135 users, but we've only really just started marketing. We've kind of, spent a lot of time figuring out the mechanics, like under the bonnet kind of stuff, which is important if you're going to be a DAO. So we have tried to get our tokenomics right. We've just got a new COO who's awesome, guy called Arturs, and he's like quite kind of critical and has been involved in lots of complex crypto startups and projects. So he's really a good technical sounding board for us. And we've got a new COO who is a complete sort of data nut, like knows every single algorithm inside out, and is just an absolute beast and just works like an absolute trooper. So she's great. She's like been smashing our socials and sorting our content out and getting us in a really good position. So yeah, the next stage for us is like we're going out for investment. We need, to accelerate our growth. So that's going to happen from the 1st of May. And yeah.
Oh, excellent. Well, I wish you well with that, because anything that builds up the overall credibility in the network, and that's going to be good. I know I used to run an ICO advisory group, and that was by invitation only. And I set that up, and it was quite a manual thing. But it was always interesting when one of my prerequisites for anyone to be in the ICO advisory group was to have a track record of having advised companies.
Yeah.
And it's funny the number of people who'd say, oh yeah, well, I've been in the background helping on this one. It's like, do you appear on the advisory panel? Well, no.
I think you prove it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Prove it, yeah.
That's good. Hey, we're joined by Elliot. Hey, Elliot. Nope, Elliot's staying quiet. So as well as the platform you're working on then, Ben, do you have a general interest in crypto?
I'm on mute, sorry. I do have a very, it's too much crypto basically. As well as running the cake and being the CEO and growing that project, I'm also a UX designer in my day job. So I work for Elliptic. They're like a blockchain forensics business. So I do some really technical sort of UX design for them, building out their sort of forensics tooling, and also consult with a few different other kind of NFT and metaverse agencies as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I probably need to kind of stop spinning too many plates, because it's all getting a bit too mad and too much crypto. So I try and get out occasionally and go for a run in the morning and just get away from the mad world of blockchain and look at trees and squirrels and stuff. try and keep it real.
I know the feeling. I think I went out somewhere on Friday, just outdoors, and I realized it was the first time in 4 days I'd left the house.
Yeah, that's too long.
Yep, it's like, yeah, that's all right. Tomorrow, you've managed through the delights of your mobile phone to get on.
Hi everyone. Sorry, for some reason my laptop does not like Zoom anymore. It just kept popping me out constantly. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem. Welcome aboard. So for these kind of sessions, I don't know if you picked up on the note that I put out before, but we don't have a fixed format on this, so we're open to talk about anything. So, just talking to Ben about the cake and the platform around that. But, we tend to just see who comes and joins us, what they want to talk about, if they've got something of particular interest. Originally, I set this group up. It was a physical meeting. We used to meet up each Sunday evening in Marlow in Buckinghamshire, which is why it's called the Books Crypto Club. It's not actually to do with money. although these days you kind of make that transition.
Gary, don't even go there. I know that area very well.
Yeah.
My stepdad's from Marlow.
Excellent. Well, there we go. That's good. But when I set the group up originally, it's because I was quite a novice at the time, and so like to surround myself by experts, or at least other people who are experiencing the journey. And so this was like for all of you to know this as well. But I found having groups like this is great because you can just ask what might be quite basic questions, and you won't get laughed out the house for asking it. You know, I run a lot of training and education type stuff in this space. I always say there really is no such thing as a dumb question. And actually, it's some of the more basic ones. And Elena, who's on today, she's been asking some fantastic, pretty basic ones, which are fundamental though. You know, and they wake you up and you go, you know what, I'd never thought about that. Or it's sometimes you get into things and you think it's so obvious, so you don't go there. So
but also you realize how little you know when somebody asks a really basic question, you can't answer it. You're like, hang on, give me a few minutes to prepare that answer, because it is quite complicated, let's face it.
You're absolutely right. And this was one of the reasons I kind of came into this space was I went to a few meetups in London, and I was listening to people talking about this back in probably about 2015 or something. And I didn't understand a lot of the time what they were talking about. And this is where I realized that half the time they were just talking way too technical for me to comprehend. And the other half of the time it's because they didn't know what they were talking about either.
So when I started trading myself, I had very little understanding, and I still do. I have very little understanding of what crypto even is.
But Vinny's joined us as well. Hey, Vinny.
Yeah, hi, Gary. This is the first time actually.
Great. In that case, welcome aboard, and hello.
I'm a newbie too, so welcome. From one newbie to another, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's good. And we've got
Pleasure
Anna
being here.
That's good. And we've got Anna joining us as well. Hi, Anna. So I do this as a way of trying to figure out who are the real people and who aren't, because if I say hi, Anna, and they don't answer or they start playing music, then the finger's hovering over the mute button. Right, I'll keep letting. There's a few more people who are joining at the moment, so I'll let them in bit by bit. But I don't know if any of you today have got anything in particular that you're keen to either share or learn or explain or anything.
I mean, I could like rant about startups and give tips and stuff. So I've had a really sort of crazy few weeks where, you know, a lot of work that I've been putting in over the last few months have all just crescendoed in this. You know, like I said earlier, just too many options. You know, you fight so hard to get options for your startup, and then out of nowhere, you can't find time to get back to everybody.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say that, you know, for anybody that is trying to do a startup, you just have to, you know, really stick in there and just really keep creating actions, basically, keep reaching out to people. And, you know, when you're having a slump and you're kind of struggling to sort of get things going, then, you know, there'll always be somebody that you contacted like 3 weeks ago who will come back to you and go, oh, hey, Ben, you contacted me 3 weeks ago, you know, I want to hear more about the cake, or let's do that article, or whatever it is. And yeah, keep trying to get these positive messages out there, you know, on Twitter when I'm feeling kind of like I want to give somebody a boost, but it's quite hard to get that tweet out there when you've got so much work to do. I've kind of got a long list of things to do. I'm going to have a long night tonight, you know, migrating my new light paper to my deck. So I've got lots of presentations next week, but I thought, you know what, jump on a stream, chat to some people, have a bit of a, you know, casual chat about whatever and see what's going on in the crypto space, and then, you know, start the night shift after that.
That's fair. I'm doing a fair amount of work with an Asia-based startup at the moment in the insurance space, non-crypto. But then I'm also doing more work with a Australia/US-based crypto startup as well. So that means my day starts early in the morning talking to Asia and finish late at night talking to the other side. So yeah, any nuggets you've got to share for startups is always very much welcomed, because I think that there's a whole community that's growing in this area. And a lot of the time my experience is that they're really good at crypto. They're not so good necessarily at building companies and taking a step back. So.
Yeah, I think that the hardest thing, and I've tried to do like, well, I have done so many startups before, and a lot of them fail, and I think like the pattern for failure is just not having the right people, or not being choosy enough about the right people, and it's just the hardest thing to do. Like I think if you're a student and you come out a student and you know you make bonds with people at university, and those kind of students that start companies, they've got trust, they've got camaraderie, you know, they've got shared ideas, and it's quite a natural sort of evolution to start a company. So anyone in that situation, if you get the opportunity, go for it, because the older you get, the harder it is, I think, to reach out and find trust with other people. And the way that I've managed to do that is just absolutely hardcore outreach on LinkedIn, you know, finding people manually that you think are going to be good to work with, and you know, farming them and engineering them and talking to them and trying to sort of become friends with them and convince them that you've got a good idea that they should work with. And you know, that really is just such a hard thing to try and get, you know, people with good experience in the crypto space who probably could be earning like, you know, top whack rates because of their kudos, to then try and get them to commit to this new idea, this new fledgling kind of business. But the people that do commit to that are the ones that really get it and believe in it and want skin in the game and don't want money, or aren't motivated by money. They're motivated by the idea, and everybody else just kind of falls along the wayside because they're like, oh, what, you know, what's the salary? And if the first question is what's the salary, it's probably not going to be a good fit, because I don't make a salary from the cake. You know, I'm building a product, we're building software and funding it myself pretty much. So, you know, yeah, just finding like, and again, to find the right people, you have to make so many more connections than you think you would. Like I must have reached out to probably like 50 new people a week at least on LinkedIn, whether they're investors or potential co-founders or developers, and that's a constant churn. And if you're not doing that, then you're not going to, you know, find somebody for your business unless you've got, you know, a place to meet entrepreneurs like university or meetups and groups and stuff like that. So
it's a good point. And it's interesting as well. I've worked with a few startups in the crypto space, and one of the challenges I found for resourcing is that some of the really deep tech people who are the absolute superstars, they've already made so much money out of crypto because they got into Bitcoin in 2010, 2011, that actually salaries are relevant. And usually they're more interested in, you know, is this pushing the boundaries of technology? Is it new and interesting? Is it an area I care about? Is it just pushing boundaries in some way? And I've worked with a couple of startups where we've lost people simply because they've gone, well, to be honest, I'm getting a bit bored now, so I think I'll go and spend some time in Thailand or something, you know, and they can do it. They're just not bothered. So I just wanted to open the conversation up. Sorry, Vinay, your first time today. I don't know where your interest lies. Are you particularly into crypto or blockchain or just general interest?
Yeah, hi Gary. My first exposure to crypto is Bitcoin. So I started with Bitcoin with the idea of what if the fiat currency gets seriously inflated, like the kind of the way it is happening in Turkey or, you know, Sri Lanka, or with the Venezuela case, the fiat currency literally gone to zero. I mean, we can also say like negative currently. So if we get like the Bitcoin or alternative international currency with us, so we can, or if you take the Ukraine case, so if somebody from Ukraine can go to different countries, then he can exchange, or you know, whatever he can take with the Bitcoin if he has.
That's fair. Well, whereabouts are you based, Vinay?
Sorry?
Where are you based?
Yeah, I am from India, Pune.
Okay, yeah.
So I graduated from IIT Kharagpur in 2020.
Because I find it really interesting, because I know Sri Lanka at the moment, their economy are having real problems with the exchange rate with the US dollar, which is causing some serious issues. And then in India keeps going through waves of crypto support, crypto against them there. So RBI has been making some statements about the the legal aspects of crypto. I know the Supreme Court of India made a judgment that crypto was legal a little while ago, and I thought that the Indian government cabinet was due to make an announcement about crypto, but they keep pushing it back. I don't know if you've heard anything on that.
Yeah, I feel like, if someone says if there is like 30% tax on something, then he or she does not legally say, it is legal. If there is something on tax on something, then it literally translates to, it is official, but not official.
It's kind of strange in the UK at the moment, but by way of comparison, that the UK's attitude around crypto is that all of the politicians are now beginning to come on side and say, hey, crypto's great. We can make the UK the world's leading crypto-friendly nation or whatever. At the same time for which the UK regulator, the UK FCA, have just announced that they've just trimmed down the list of crypto assets applicants that they have, because most of them have failed and been thrown out. So they're actually making it quite hard to register as a crypto firm. And then additionally, the tax authorities are saying that they like crypto because it allows them to generate more revenue. And it's kind of like the politicians are saying one thing, the politicians are saying we want to be crypto friendly. Meanwhile, the tax man is saying we'll take as much tax as we can from you. And the regulator is not exactly putting in place what I would call crypto-friendly regulation. And I think it might be a similar thing in India, that I've seen there's talk about, is it 23% tax or something on crypto there?
No, it is actually 30% tax, but the additional burden is like 1%, whatever the transaction you do, upon that 1% is extra taxable.
Okay.
Beyond additional and beyond the 30%.
So not good. So do you work in the crypto space or the blockchain space?
No, I am working as a senior software here at Bajaj Finance.
Okay.
It is one of the biggest NBFCs here in India.
Okay. Because I would have thought there's quite a good blockchain community in Mumbai, and I thought there's some stuff in Hyderabad as well. And then is it Tamil Nadu? There's a whole piece of almost like a blockchain community forming, if I remember correctly, if I've got it right.
I don't have actually, like, with the technology part of blockchain, like I wanted to learn. So, I thought if I join here, like I'll get some exposure.
Yeah. Well, definitely there's various groups that have set up around India now, particularly around blockchain, not just around crypto. And that's a good area to get into anyway. So if you've got a technology background, that can be quite a useful thing. But yeah, the people I mainly know, I know I was an advisor on some stuff with the West Bengal governments. So helping out up in Calcutta, or Kolkata rather, around defining strategies for blockchain adoption, that kind of thing. So I think it's very interesting. India's very interesting marketplace for crypto. So you're probably timing it quite nicely to get into that area, definitely. That's good.
I hope. Everybody is like talking about the crypto, everything, but nobody is really talking about the technology behind it.
Yeah.
So what I feel like is, if something has to be very quick, that advanced, then it will also take the electricity, or the data centers has to be very advanced.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so I feel like, how can somebody manages the electricity part of it? I mean, the energy consumption side of it.
Yeah, well, the energy consumption, I'm not always convinced by. I sometimes think that is just put about as a way of just giving crypto a bad name. So if we look at the energy consumption of traditional fiat financial systems, the computers use a lot of electricity in there. And also there are different types of crypto mining, which are far more energy efficient than what blockchain than what Bitcoin uses at the moment. So Bitcoin uses an intentionally incredibly inefficient energy mechanism, but that's going to evolve. That's going to change. In the training I do around blockchain and crypto, I always ask people to tell me, when was the first motorized vehicle? I don't know. I'll ask that question here. Can anyone tell me when was the first motorized vehicle? Any guesses, anybody?
Maybe
Oh, well,
1970
it
around.
really does depend. I know that in South Korea, electric vehicles are the main mode of transport currently. That's why I'm trying to head there in a few years' time.
Yep.
They've been going strong for over a decade, well over a decade now. I believe they started to dabble in it in early 2000s.
So when do you think was the first motorized vehicle of any sort ever?
Oh, motorized vehicle.
Yep.
That was back in 1800s.
Okay.
Late,
Any other
late 1800s, early 1900s.
any other guesses from anybody?
I was going to go much later than that.
Yeah.
Now, tomorrow's gone really much earlier. I feel like a dick saying it, but I was going to say like, yeah, early 1900s, like 1920s.
Yeah. Most people tend to go for like late 1800s, early 1900s or something.
Okay.
But the first motorized vehicle was 1673.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
And it was a steam-powered bicycle. Okay. And the reason I mention this is, first of all, it shows just how long technology actually takes to evolve to a place where you're familiar with it. Because it was a steam-powered motorized bicycle. I think it was going to be for the French army, if I remember correctly. It's either the French army or a Chinese leader or something. So this is where Ben's now Googling it, and he's going to write a blog or whatever. But I use that as an illustration. First of all, you think about, if you go out on the road now, there are no steam-powered bicycles. It was an evolution technology that worked at the time. We've moved on from that. It's all petrol, diesel, and moving increasingly onto electrical vehicles now. And if you look at how it wasn't until the late 1800s, early 1900s, with likes of Daimler-Benz, Mercedes, that kind of thing, that's where the cars as we know them started appearing, type thing. So it took, what, 150 years or so to go from when it first started to something that was being used in some way. And it took another 100 years or so to get to the point where I think a BMW 3 Series, if it's an electric one, will do something like 180 miles to the gallon or something, or possibly more. So that's very fuel efficient. And I use that as an illustration that Bitcoin's kind of like the steam-powered bicycle. It used the technology that was available at the time to do what's done, but the future generations will be increasingly energy efficient. So in fact, Bitcoin, I think the way mining works on that will change as well. So I always say, don't worry too much about how inefficient things are at the moment, because technology will keep improving and making that better. So
that is a good point. I agree to it to a certain extent, but I'm not sure Bitcoin will change to proof of stake. I reckon that's Bitcoin's special move. Like, so every blockchain pretty much after Bitcoin was always heading for proof of stake. And it feels like they've got that brand value that just is stubborn and slow.
Yep.
And it's kind of what we all need in a way.
And it kind of shows as well, it's a little bit like, I describe it as the video wars of a few years ago. If you think back to when we had VHS, Betamax, Philips 2000, all these competing technologies for what was an early form of digital media. The one that won through, VHS, was not the best technology. If you speak to the technicians, they'll say that Betamax or even Philips 2000 was better, where it had the best branding and it had the best marketing, the best adoption in there. And so I think in some ways Bitcoin may be the same. I think Bitcoin, it's been marketed well, and it's like the baseline that everyone knows, and so it's sticking around. And it may actually be that, things like Ethereum or whatever, others that are on proof of stake or going to be on proof of stake, may not actually be as popular, even though the technology is there. So we'll see. Hey, oh, he's lost his media again. So I think we're in an interesting time right now. that I think that the technology is evolving, it is changing. And as you say, whether Bitcoin will eventually go proof of stake or whether we'll see a big lift and shift and we'll get kind of Bitcoin 2.0, or I guess 3.0 these days.
I mean, how many years would that take though for Bitcoin to go proof of stake? It's taken them about 10 years to do like tech route.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's good.
But the thing is, I feel like these new cryptos are starting to change the game a lot. For example, with ADA and Zilliqa, they come from the same company, so they're kind of using the same basis. But everybody's always talking about just how different they are from all the other cryptos that are even right now currently on the market. And I'm not sure I'm quite understanding what all the differences are between them and just the recent ones as well. So why are they standing out so much? I started to invest based on my gut feeling. I knew nothing about crypto when I joined the game at all, but then my gut feeling just pushed me. So I just wanted to know if there is any basis for my gut to be telling me to keep being interested in these at all.
That's a bad strategy.
Yeah.
It's really bad, I know.
I think it really comes back to why you're interested in something and what you're looking to achieve from it. So I get this all the time from people who are into crypto because they want to make money. You know, they've seen the charts going up and they say, hey, I want to invest in stuff. And so they're interested in it because they think the price is going to go up, and they think the price is going to go up because it's some new cool technology or whatever. And that's why I always say to people, crypto does not work that way. If you take a step back and compare two major cryptocurrency platforms to begin with, we've got Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is proven tested to be really good at moving value. That's all it does. You know, you can look at the blocks behind it and you can look at the mining and all that, but ultimately it's about transferring value without an intermediary. And in fact, that's what the white paper in effect said it was all about. So from a technology point of view, you know, that's kind of pretty cool. But then you look at Ethereum, which has got a programmable layer on top of it, you know, the Ethereum virtual machine and smart contracts, you know, in terms of functionality and features, way ahead of Bitcoin. So, you know, Bitcoin can move value, but Ethereum can do that, and Ethereum is programmable as well. And this is where we've now got NFTs and crypto tokens and all this kind of stuff.
Also, you can put your Bitcoin on Ethereum by wrapping it.
Yep.
And so it kind of, you know, Bitcoin is like a side chain of Ethereum in a way.
That's right. So you look at all of that and you go, so from a technology standpoint, Ethereum is leagues ahead of Bitcoin. Go and look at the prices. Which one
I
is
have something to say, Gary.
Go for it, Vinay.
So if you take Bitcoin Tamaria, sorry, I cannot pronounce your name. Is it like Tamara?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. So if you take Bitcoin, the transaction charges will be somewhat high than the Ethereum, and the transaction charges for Ethereum is slightly higher than the Solana. So by the technology changes, the transaction gets faster and it is more even efficient, or you can say it is more quicker. That is one thing. And the second thing is utility based. Suppose you take Ethereum, so you can make some products like if you wanted to keep some smart contract business or something, or any, you know, you can use that platform and build some products. The way you use the Google Play Store and deploy the app so that everybody can use your app. You know, it entirely creates a revolutionary business again. You can literally say like the OS, how the OS works. Like the Android system is one kind of OS and the iOS is different kind of OS. So it is almost like creating a new kind of base for systems to be, so we can deploy the systems.
But maybe that's the thing, as Tamara's saying, you've got like Zilliqa, you've got Cardano and ADA and all this kind of thing. There's actually a whole raft of these new and interesting capabilities coming out. And it's going to be interesting to see, do they offer anything new, which is sufficiently new and interesting to gain traction? Or are they kind of like me too type things of they're just more of the same. I don't really know. What I am seeing is that there are
that's
some...
actually what I was asking, that because that's what I wanted to see. I was advised into it. They so earlier on when I was talking with them, they were mentioning these different new things that Zilliqa would have been able to offer because of the way it's being created and the potential that it has. So I wanted to see from your point of view if that is still the case in today's market, because as much as I do hold Zilliqa, yes, it's really not about that. When I invested, it was not even 7 cents. It's not about that for me. I want to learn as the future changes, as I can see these changes happening in real time. So that's how I'm asking.
Yeah, I think that this is where it's always worthwhile taking a look at their websites and reading their papers and that, because what I'm sensing at the moment is that there's a shift away from blockchains offering new technology capabilities and a shift towards being more either industry or geography oriented. So I'm seeing some projects at the moment, particularly around the payment space in Africa. You know, we had someone on the call the other week and he set something up, and they're doing some really interesting stuff working with telecoms companies in, I think it was Zanzibar, possibly Botswana, a couple of like the southern part of Africa, about providing new payment rails. And that was kind of quite interesting because it wasn't going head to head with an Ethereum or a Cardano or a Dash. It was actually looking at it from a geography point of view as to what they could offer. So I think it's a matter of reading the papers, the white papers that they produce or the websites.
There's another really sort of interesting perspective, which is about sort of brand and brand loyalty and how you sort of align yourself with these different projects. And for the last 10 years, these projects have been largely tech driven. And, you know, it wasn't long for them to go, oh, Web3, you know, it must be better than Web2 because it's one number higher. Right? That's one step away from mainstream media where, you know, TV ads and emotional brand advertising can pull anyone to any chain. And I think that's going to happen. It's going to become mainstream, and people in crypto are really tribal. So, you know, you're always going to align with those projects. And, you know, if you call out a project, it's, you know, 9 times out of 10, that person is never going to go back on that word. You know, it's quite not cultish, that makes it sound negative, but it's kind of like, you know, you choose the projects that you like because, you know, you were there first, or a friend introduced you to them, or somebody that you trust, or you just liked the logo, or all those kind of things. And I think when the cost of creating blockchains are so low, and the you know, accessibility and, you know, ability to, you know, create new projects and fork projects and just rebrand it, that everybody wants their own brand, right? So it's not going to be, is it Bitcoin or Ethereum? It's like, well, you know, my wife's going to be using like H&M coin, and my mate that likes Arsenal is going to be using Arsenal coin, because, you know, why not? When the cost of tokenization is so low, and people are emotive and they, you know, they live by their personality and their differences, I think that's like a massive thing that we're going to see that will drive that adoption and drive that kind of tribalness.
I think you're right. And if you think about, you know, Cardano is probably a good example of that, where, you know, Cardano, so it's Charles Hoskinson who's behind it, who's formerly with Ethereum. I think he's with Ethereum or Bitcoin. I get them mixed up sometimes.
Zilliqa is made by them too, actually.
Yeah.
It's the same parent company.
Yeah, and that's where you look at the whole, social media profile and presence counts, because the building on the personality, you know, Ethereum, as soon as you say Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, the name get mentioned straight away. As soon as you talk about Cardano, you got Charles Hoskinson. So, and this is exactly as Ben says, it's that like brand association, reputation. Oh yeah, I like that team because they worked on this and they know this type thing. That definitely holds true. I think that's a fair thing. The other area, which is sometimes worth looking at, is to take a look at platforms that do offer something a little bit different. So things like privacy coins. I think privacy coins is a very niche area. And I really don't know where it's going to go, because it might end up being the new underground of crypto at some point, as some things get discouraged because all the regulators are trying to do things like anti-money laundering regulations and terrorist financing and all this kind of stuff. They're trying to get the mainstream crypto providers, so the crypto exchanges and that kind of thing, to all be registered and all follow the rules and that. And then you've got anonymous things. So you've got tumblers, you've got the anonymous coins, so like the Monero, Zcash, and this kind of thing. I think there's a market for them. It's whether you want to go down that route or not. That's certainly something of interest.
That stuff's really hard. Like taking something like Bitcoin and then going, right, it's distributed, it's decentralized, it's censorship resistant, right, now make it private. It's like, well, hang on a minute, you don't know what you're asking for there. Like, you know, this data is actually big data. This isn't like Norwegian libraries data. This is like seriously big data with every node connected to almost infinite amount of, you know, reciprocal connections. And that's why you see these projects like Bitcoin just moving super slow and bringing out stuff like Taproot. It's just like, you know, 10 years in the making. You can scale really quickly and innovate really quickly, but at the cost of the other, you know, channels of the spectrum, right? Ethereum is is more centralized and less secure than Bitcoin because, you know, that trade-off on tech. So it's harder to just pull a rabbit out of a hat and go, but you know, there's a new bit of tech in blockchain. It's like, it's cryptography and it's really hard. And that stuff moves slowly because it is super hard to do and not many people do it.
Yeah, it's a good call. I see we've been joined by Jonathan as well. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello.
Oh dear, he's gone. What a surprise.
Oh, that was funny. He was really nice about
Bless him.
Again, a Twitter hacktivist or whatever. John, haven't had a chance to hear from you today. How's it going?
Hey guys, yeah, you speaking to me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sorry about that. I just put my son to bed and I joined the call and then my son was awake.
No problem.
Yeah, I just had a question. Basically, I saw the link on Facebook to join the Zoom call, and I just thought I'd ask a few questions about NFTs, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Sure.
Okay. So feel free to answer if anybody knows. So basically, I've got my own website. We're a venue. We're selling tickets. So what we're trying to do is sell NFTs as the tickets, so people can turn up NFTs in their wallets, get in. So Stripe and BitPay both will host our NFTs and use their Wallet Connect on our website to pay for the NFTs and host our NFTs through their blockchain. But they're so hard to speak to and get hold of that we can't do it. Does anybody know of a British firm that does this? That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's right. So you're looking for a British firm who is a PSP in some way, a payment provider, just on the crypto side.
Yeah, so basically what I've got on my website is I will sell my NFTs. They're just tickets. They're not monkeys or anything like that. They're actual tickets for a venue, you know, the real things.
Yep.
But I don't want to have to I don't want to have to divert my customers from my website to OpenSea to buy the NFT to then come back to my website.
Yep.
Just want to make it all seamless. Stripe and BitPay do that, but they're so hard to get hold of. And I'm in England, so I'm just trying to find a real world use for this technology. It is so hard.
Okay, so the one that springs to mind immediately that might be able to help would be Ziglu.
Okay, cool.
So Ziglu, if I remember correctly, are a wallet provider and are one of the very few actually FCA registered providers in the crypto space. They were one of the first, I think it was the first 5 in the UK. If you want to get in touch with me offline, John, you'll find me on LinkedIn. Just go to LinkedIn, Gary Nuttall, connect with me, and I can probably put you in touch with possibly a couple of providers actually in that kind of space.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, because they can be a bit of a challenge trying to get that. The problem I always get all the time is trying to find banking facilities for British companies who want to get into crypto. We were talking about earlier on how the UK is allegedly trying to become crypto friendly. But when you speak to banks actually trying to open a bank account and they say, what's your line of business? Oh, we're a crypto trader. You just don't get anywhere. So yeah,
No.
ping me a note and I'll see if I can reach out through my network. Or you came through via one of the Facebook groups, did you, on this?
Facebook,
today?
Crypto
Yeah.
GB. I just saw the link and thought, right, maybe these guys know the answers to my questions.
Yeah, so if I can't help, the person who set up Crypto GP is Hussein Badr. Well, I can't pronounce his second name offhand, but he came from Ziglar, in fact, and he's now working on a non-custodial wallet solution. He might have some contacts as well.
Awesome.
But I don't know if he's back from Miami yet, because it's been the Bitcoin conference in Miami this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, but ping me a note. I'll try and do some intros or something, see how we can help you.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, I want to connect with you on LinkedIn, Gary, and I shall say good night to everyone. Thank you so much, everyone.
John, don't go. John.
Okay.
Are you going? You staying?
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
I was just going to say, before you go, check out a thing called Pope, POAP. If you go to poap.xyz, it's this thing called Proof of Attendance Protocol. And it's like an on-chain kind of in real life event token that you can spin up for events and people can check in to your venues.
Oh, wicked.
And they'll show their wallet, and that's proof of entry. And you can use it as a sort of marketing platform, but definitely.
All right, okay.
Nice
Thank
one.
you so much, Ben. Cheers for that. I will check that out now.
There you go. 5 minutes on a call on some useful stuff. That's great.
Do you know how long it's taken me to get these answers? That I've been searching for 2 months literally to find out this, and like.
And I'm not going to keep shilling the cake, but John, if you want help from crypto experts, my platform, thecake.chat, has got loads of really credible and vetted crypto experts. You can chat to them for free.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank
Cool.
you. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Gary.
No worries. Have a good one. Look, folks, it's just past 8 o'clock. I usually try and close these down on the hour, just to keep it to time. So I'll close it now and say thank you very much for coming along, for sharing the insights and the experience, and for asking the questions as well. We do host these every week, so come along next week if you've got any questions or anything to ask. Hope you found it useful and interesting. Hope to see you all again sometime. Okay, folks, thanks for joining. See you around there.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.